and welcome into To Our Health. And we have someone that just makes me feel healthy whether I am or not. Dr. Will Rutland, it is a joy to have you. And we've been talking about a topic that is really important because we're talking about mental health, psychiatry.
Sure.
And let's talk a little bit more about this. We've established a residency program at our UAB medical campus right here in Montgomery.
That's right.
And there's something new going on, though, that you have had a lot to do with.
Well, I am so excited about this. I
know.
I am a little bit giddy, so forgive me if you see me grinning. But
I love it.
We are just launching Alabama's first street psychiatry clinic, which we're calling the Hope Clinic. In fact, you can see it here on my jacket. My daughters did a very nice job of decorating my white coat here with HOPE. That stands for the Homeless Outreach and Psychiatric Education Clinic. And I'll explain that a little bit. And this is a long and winding tale. It tracks all the way back to something you may have heard of in the news. Sometime back, there was an enormous multi-state opioid settlement, which you probably heard about. And as a byproduct of that settlement, a number of states throughout the country received a lump sum of money from a sort of settlement, a lawsuit settlement. And some of that money came from the state of Alabama down to the city of Montgomery. And the city of Montgomery took that opioid settlement money and said, we want to use this in the most efficacious and most thoughtful manner possible. And they put the money out there with a request for proposals for how to use it. And our UAB Montgomery psychiatry residency put in a proposal to start a street psychiatry clinic. And we were very lucky and we're very grateful that the city funded that effort. Now, a street psychiatry clinic is a clinic where we go into the community. So we walk into these communities and we deal with folks right where they live. And oftentimes that is on the street itself. And we treat their mental illness and substance use disorders right where they are. And the reason that's so important is because oftentimes folks who are struggling with mental illness will end up homeless or unstably housed. And then they're destitute and have trouble getting into the clinical help that they need. And of course, that just creates a spiral.
Right.
If you can't get the help that you need, you deteriorate. And as you deteriorate, your circumstances become even more dire. So rather than shifting the burden onto the person who's struggling, we're saying, look, we're going to come to you and we're going to help you right where you are. The motto of our clinic is hope beyond hope.
That's about what it is.
It is.
That's great.
And you know, the idea there is hope, H period, O period, P period, E period, which is the acronym for our clinic. That's not the last place these folks are going to end up. That's where they're going to start this journey.
Okay.
And if we can get them feeling better, then they can reintegrate into the community and be productive, wonderful, active members of their community. And so that is the hope. We want to get everyone to their fullest and best health state so that they can enjoy all of their life and their loved ones can enjoy it too.
You know, we talked about how much this affects, we had the commander and president a few weeks ago from Maxwell, and how this affects veterans to such a tremendous degree. I mean, there's so much suicide and it's just sad. Let me ask you this. Logistically, so you go to the street, let's say you find somebody who is in dire need of help, then how does that process
How does it work?
Yeah.
That's a great question. So, we had to be kind of thoughtful on the front end, and with credit to all the folks who gather statistics on this stuff, we were able to go to the Housing and Urban Development Department and get data for where folks who are unhoused are actually congregating in Montgomery. And so we know where there are these enclaves of folks who are in dire straits. And so we actually go to those specific places. So for instance, yesterday, I was right over at the new homeless resource center here called The Hub in Montgomery, which is towards downtown. And I was meeting people on the street there and talking to them about their mental health issues. But what it essentially looks like is I meet folks on the street. I have a team with me. We get them incorporated into the clinic, just like you would at your regular doctor's office. We have a medical record. And then as part of the grant, we had money to buy basic psychiatric medications, including medications for addiction. And so we can actually prescribe and deliver medication. So think of this. If you are, say, a homeless veteran and you do not have transportation and you do not have social supports around you, and you get a prescription, but you can't get to the pharmacy, or if you get to the pharmacy, you don't have the coverage or the money to help pay for the meds, the prescription's not going to help you. But if I can come directly to you and hand you your medication, then you can take it. And as you get better, then you are more able to function out in the broader society. And so then, maybe you get well enough that you can hold down that part-time job and you start making a little money. And so then you can pay for, an Uber to get to the pharmacy. And so you become more and more functional. And that's really our goal, is to get people back to their best selves.
So then you meet them and then you follow through,
we
follow
do.
up.
And that's what it's really all about. Good intentions get you so far. Really, the secret to all of this is you have to continue to show up.
Well, congratulations on a wonderful, wonderful program. We'll have you back again next week, and we're going to talk about more of what is going on in mental health. And thank you so much for being with us, and we'll be right back, folks.